Hi, I am Bimal Maharjan, founder of Gutsphere, and your host for the video. Imagine you're sitting down for breakfast. Toast, cereal, maybe a glass of juice. Sounds healthy, right? After all, many of us grew up believing that a plate filled with grains was the gold standard of good nutrition. But what if I told you that what we were taught was actually leading us path down to the poor health? What if our well meaning choices, influenced by flawed guidelines, were contributing to a health crisis that now spans the globe? Today, we are going to dig deep. We will explore how USDA food pyramid, influenced by industry and evolving science, impacted our gut health and contributed to a surge in chronic diseases. Stick around because not only we will uncover the missteps, but we'll also find out how we can take control back of our health together. Let's dive in. First, let's understand the impact of USDA food pyramid on health, specifically gut health. The USDA food pyramid emphasized grains and carbohydrates, recommending 6 to 11 servings of bread, cereal, rice, and pasta each day. At the time, perhaps it seemed logical. Grains were accessible, affordable, and provided energy. But what if I told you that this focus led to unintended health consequences that we are still dealing with today? For example, because of this overemphasis on grains and carbohydrates, think back to when we were told that eating more bread and cereal was the key to staying healthy. That's how millions and billions of us started our day. Even in Nepal, I was born in 1985 and I was a 90s kid there. Even there, the influence of the USDA food pyramid made its way. Suddenly, refined carbs like white bread became part of our breakfast ritual. I think we were the first global generation to consume refined carbs so regularly. But here's the kicker. Those refined carbs were wreaking havoc on our guts. Now, studies reveal that diets rich in refined grains contribute to decrease in diversity of beneficial gut bacteria, essentially throwing off the balance that keeps our gut microbiome healthy. Another aspect is the low emphasis on fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. The pyramid replaced fruits and vegetables in moderation, but healthy fats, like those in avocados, nuts, and seeds, were at the top, suggesting we consume them sparingly. The fear of fats dominated dietary advice for decades. But now we know better. Healthy fats are essential for gut health. Research shows that diet lacking fiber-rich foods reduce the production of short-chain fatty acids, HEFAs, which are crucial for reducing gut inflammation. By missing out these healthy fats and fibers, we were depriving our bodies of what they needed to function optimally. If you have ever felt that something just wasn't right with your diet, I don't think you are alone. Let's keep going and see what else contributed to this global issue. The issue: industry influence and conflict of interest. So, industry influences on dietary guidelines. What if these guidelines weren't as impartial as we believed? Behind closed doors, food industry giants were working to influence what ended up on our plates. Reports have revealed how certain industries funded research to downplay the role of their products in health issues, instead placing the blame elsewhere. This influence shaped dietary guidelines to favor certain groups, affecting public perception and consumption patterns. The revolving door between industry, stakeholders, and regulatory agencies created conflicts of interest that muddied the water of public health policy. And here's something you might find surprising. this influence wasn't limited to the US. The ripple effect was felt all around the world, affecting how billions of families, including mine in Nepal, ate every day. Also, the funding of research by food and beverage companies. Imagine processed food and beverages companies funding studies that concluded exercise, not diet, was the key to managing weight. Sounds very convenient, right? They invested heavily in promoting narratives that downplay the negative health impacts of their products. Similarly, certain sectors funded research to emphasize the benefits of their products while minimizing potential health risk. While not all dietary research was influenced in this way, enough was to create a distorted view of what constitutes a healthy diet, leaving many of us confused. Stick around because next we will look at what all of this misinformation led to, and the consequences are significant. The rise in disease epidemics. Consequences of the flawed guidelines. Number one, obesity epidemic. Since the introduction of USDA food pyramids, obesity rates have increased significantly. The recommendations for high carbohydrate intake led many of us to overconsume calories, causing spikes in blood sugar levels and contributing to metabolic imbalances. According to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, adult obesity prevalence in the US rose from approximately 15% in the 1990 to 42.4% in 2017-18. This represents a nearly threefold increase over that period. This wasn't just a problem in America. Countries worldwide saw similar surges as Western dietary guidelines were adopted. What does that mean for our health today? Imagine carrying an unnecessary burden that keeps getting heavier. That's what our bodies are experiencing due to these flawed guidelines. Number two, rise in type 2 diabetes. With the rise of high carb diets came the rise of type 2 diabetes. By 2018, over 34 million Americans were affected by diabetes, with the majority of being type 2 cases linked to dietary factors. Globally, around 463 million adults were living with diabetes by 2019, and the number is expected to soar to 700 million by 2045. High carb, low fiber diets, much like those encouraged by the pyramid, played a major role in this health crisis. And number three, rise in gastrointestinal disorders. Our guts took a hit. Conditions like irritable bowel syndrome and inflammatory bowel diseases, IBD, became more common, fueled by inflammation and a disrupted gut microbiome. Countries that shifted from traditional diets to more westernized eating habits saw a rise in these gastrointestinal disorders. The effects were clear. Prioritizing refined, processed foods over whole, fiber-rich options led to an imbalance in gut health. If you are thinking this all sounds pretty grim, you are right. But there is hope, and we'll get to that soon. And let's talk about number 4, impact on gut health, how it all began. Gut microbiome disruption. Picture your gut as a bustling metropolis filled with helpful workers. Now imagine what happens when the wrong elements take over. Chaos. That's what diet high in refined carb do to our gut. The food pyramid's emphasis on refined carbohydrates led to an overgrowth of harmful bacteria, starving the beneficial microbes that thrive on fiber. The lack of diverse plant-based foods reduce the production of short-chain fatty acids, HCFAs, which are key to keeping inflammation at bay. And also from the evolutionary perspective, our ancestors thrived on diets rich in natural fats, proteins, and fibers. The 20th century shift towards low-fat and high-refined carb diets disrupted this balance, leading to negative consequences for gut health. Studies have linked the Western diets to reduced microbiome diversity and increased susceptibility to diseases such as IBS and systemic inflammation. Systemic inflammation and chronic diseases. When the gut is compromised, inflammation can spread beyond the digestive tract, obviously leading to chronic conditions such as obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and also cerebral diseases. Research emphasizes that maintaining gut health is key to regulating inflammation and preventing disease. Diets low in fiber and nutrient diversity hinder the immune system, creating pathways for chronic illnesses. Stay with me because next we will explore how we can fix these issues and reclaim our health and gut health. We have new nutrition science, the way forward, that shifts towards whole foods and balanced diets. Thankfully, we are moving away from outdated guidelines and toward a better understanding of what supports health. Whole, unprocessed foods, healthy fats, and balanced macronutrients are now recognized as essential. Unlike the USDA food pyramid's advice to cut fats and load up on grains, the current guidelines encourage us to embrace healthy fats like those from olive oils, nuts, and avocados, and complex carbohydrates from vegetables and whole grains. A diverse diet rich in probiotics and prebiotics supports a healthy gut microbiome, enhancing resilience against disease. Other global approaches to gut health. The shift isn't just happening in the US. Globally, various nutritional frameworks emphasize gut health. For example, Nordic nutrition recommendations is rich in fiber, fermented dairy, and fatty fish, and root vegetables, supporting gut diversity. Mediterranean diet, high in healthy fats, legumes, and vegetables, promoting gut health and lowering inflammation. Japanese dietary guidelines. Fermented foods like miso and natto, plus a variety of fresh vegetables, help maintain microbial balance. Blue zones diets. Diets in longevity hotspots focus on plant-based foods, legumes, and occasionally high-quality animal proteins, supporting a diverse microbiome. This is how we start to shift the tide from misinformation to real solutions. Even USDA dietary guidelines is evolving from pyramid to MyPlate. In 2011, the USDA replaced the food pyramid with MyPlate, which emphasizes the balanced portion of fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. This shift marked a much-needed improvement, placing greater importance on fruits and vegetables while reducing grain servings. It also highlights the need for a variety of foods on the plate, making it easier for people to understand how to achieve balance in their diets. However, there is still room for improvement. The MyPlate guidelines do not emphasize the importance of healthy fats enough, and they lack detail on the quality of foods within each category. Despite this, it's a step forward in correcting the flaws of the food pyramid. So, where do we go from here? Let's talk about how we can make changes to improve our gut health and overall wellness. Let's talk about recommendations for a healthy gut and life. There are 5 simple changes you can make today to support your gut health. Number 1 is increase fiber intake. Obviously, add more fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains, complex carbohydrates to your diet. Obviously, fiber supports beneficial gut bacteria and enhances digestion. So that fiber includes both probiotic and prebiotic. So include probiotic and prebiotic foods, fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, as well as prebiotic-rich foods like garlic and onions that boost microbiome diversity. And obviously, third, choose healthy fats. Opt for healthy fat sources like olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, ghee, and so on. Even coconut oil. These fats reduce inflammation and support nutrient absorption. And obviously, do not eat processed food. Limit processed foods and sugary foods. Reducing your intake of refined grains, sugars, and additives help prevent gut dysbiosis and chronic inflammation. And finally, stay hydrated and practice mindful living. Drink plenty of water, eat mindfully, manage stress, and stay active to improve your overall well-being. And one more thing, if you need, consult healthcare professionals. Dietitians, therapists, gastroenterologists can provide personalized advice and tailor your diet, exercises, stress relief techniques to suit your health needs. So, taking back control, the USDA food pyramid, influenced by industry and shaped by the nutrition science of its time, had consequences that continue to affect us today. Its recommendations contributed to rising obesity rates, an increase in type 2 diabetes, and a surge in gastrointestinal issues. However, today we have a clear understanding of what truly supports our health. So we know whole, nutrients-dense foods, balanced micronutrients, and diverse diets rich in fiber and healthy fats. By embracing these insights, we can repair the damage done and thrive, supporting not just our bodies, but also our delicate ecosystem within us, our gut microbiome. Let's take back control and make informed choices, nourish our bodies with real foods, and work towards a healthier, happier world, starting from the inside out. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from this information. Together, we can spread awareness and help others take back control of their health.